How do I save if I'm living paycheck to paycheck? Thank you so much for this question. My name is Gaby Rincon. I'm a money coach and financial strategist. I specialize in working with the first-gen BIPOC community and empowering them to live money stress-free. Obviously, disclaimer, I'm assuming that you have a livable wage. Like, you cannot budget your way from an unlivable to a livable wage, okay? But for most of my clients, most of my community, they say something like, Gabs, like, in theory, I should be able to save. Like, my salary, my income is high enough, but I don't know why I can't do that. I just feel like I'm always living paycheck to paycheck, okay? And we got to break it all the way back. First, we've got to talk about, like, what does it really mean to live below our means, and why do we want to do that? The thing is, if we have this tendency of like, okay, my income increased, I got a promotion, I got a salary increase, so now my living expenses also increase. We keep kind of like upgrading our lifestyle, if that makes sense. And the thing is that when we live below our means, like, even though I make this amount of money, I only spend this much amount, that delta, that difference, that's where my savings habit can come from. That's my savings rate. That's what I can use to not only save like cash on hand, like an emergency, but also in retirement savings, in investing. That's how I can start accumulating wealth. Then we look into talking about how savings is a habit. In fact, most of personal finance, all of personal finance boils down to effective money management habits. And the cool thing about that is that we can build habits. Even if you don't currently have them, we can start with little small changes that can compound on themselves and build really impressive, healthy habits, like saving eventually like maybe 10 to 20% of your income. But that can only happen if we start small, because if we start small, we're able to sustain that. We're able to do that week after week, pay period after pay period, and increase on that. If we start too big, like I'm going to go from saving $0 a month to saving $500, like that is too big of a change. So then you'll end up fad dieting your finances. So when we're building this habit with a client, we'll talk about like, where are we going to find that small number from? Are we going to increase our income? We can work overtime. We can sell some stuff on Facebook Marketplace. We can like do small things, right? That maybe add up to like an extra $25, $50, $100 per week, depending on your situation. And that's where that savings can come from. Or we can decrease our expenses. For example, you can move in with a roommate, save a few $100s on rent, or little things like instead of paying for a $250 gym membership, maybe I'm only paying $30 for a gym membership. Again, examples that I've seen in real life that have happened, because what we're looking for is a change that is small enough to where we do feel it, but it's not going to be overwhelming, too heavy that we end up giving up. Once you've identified the dollar amount that feels right and also the place that it's coming from, like the source, you're gonna need to automate it. So for example, if it's from working overtime, the day that you get paid, you know when that is, right? Set that transfer to hit into your savings account. Ideally, it's like in a high yield savings account, so it's away from your checking account. You don't accidentally dip into it, and also earning you a higher yield. Another thing that I make sure to do with clients is that we take their overarching big savings goal, like say they have a $10,000 emergency fund goal, right? That's gonna be really, really big. We'll break it down into something that will take us, I don't know, maybe 3 to 6 months to achieve. Something like, I don't know, $1,000, for example, so that we can measure that, we can achieve that, and then once that happens, we celebrate that. And it may seem silly, but some habit stuff that like is all just behavioral really, really is successful. Like think about like those little savings challenge. Like I have one client who is doing an X amount of savings per week, and it increases by $1. So in week 1, she transferred $1. In week 2, it was $2. In week 3, it was $3. She's now up to like 68, and it's going all the way up to 100. Kind of a fun little gamifying system too, right? And another one of my clients started to like directly tie her lack of going out to eat for lunch to savings. Like there's nothing wrong with going out to eat. I don't want you to like think that I'm saying that. But she identified like, okay, if I bring my lunch 2 times, then I should be able to save that money directly. So she knew exactly what she would spend. It was like, 18, whatever, right? And so when she wouldn't go, she would pack her lunch that Tuesday. What she would have spent, she transfers immediately into her high yield savings account. And the last thought I'll leave you with is highlighting the importance of what you just asked, like the word that you used, the how. The thing is, when I work with clients, when I see our community, like when we're having these financial kind of problems or we have some dysfunction within our finance behavior, like it tends to be that we say something like, I'll never get out of debt. I'll never become a saver. I'm just not a saver, right? That automatically shuts your brain down. But what you did, you asked, how can I break this cycle? How can I save? That automatically opens your brain up to the possibility of success. Now you're approaching this problem through the lens of finding a solution. We're kind of coming at it from solution oriented. We're coming at it from optimistic kind of mindset, right? We're going to succeed. My job is simply to find how. Now your brain's going to be thinking, what if we do this? What if we do this? What if we do this? These potential avenues that we could take. Maybe it ends up being a combination or swaying between the two depending on the pay period and what's going on in the rest of your kind of life. The thing is that most of the time there is a solution. We just have to find it and then have the patience to achieve it. Sure, it might take us 6 months, 2 years, whatever it might be. But again, you found it and you're successful. So please, if you're having any finance kind of issues, always ask the word how. And as always, for an in-depth look at your financial picture and developing some strategies that'll work for you, breaking the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, please book a consultation. I would love to work with you.